Hello and welcome to PsyWicV. We're glad to see you again. This is the first of 3 episodes on forgiveness. In this video, we will talk about 7 things you should know about forgiveness. In the next video, we're going to talk about 5 practical steps to reach forgiveness. And in the final and last video, we'll talk about reconciliation. Ready? Let's go. Most of us hold at least some misconceptions about forgiveness. Here are 7 things that are useful to know about forgiveness. Number 1, forgiveness and reconciliation are fundamentally different things. Reconciliation is the restoration of trust when trust has been damaged in a relationship, whereas forgiveness is something that happens within the person. Reconciliation happens between 2 people, at least. Now, reconciliation depends on mutually trusting behaviors until trust can be restored. All that is just to say that you can forgive someone without immediately jumping into reconciliation. Reconciliation takes time, and it should only happen when it's appropriate and safe to re-enter that relationship.
There are 2 levels of forgiveness. The decisional level, in which we make a conscious decision to forgive, and the emotional level, in which we actually experience the freedom from hatred and bitterness and replace them with compassion, empathy, and sympathy. Research shows that emotional forgiveness is where most health benefits lie. This type of forgiveness can reduce our stressful reaction, and stress has been shown to lead to a suppressed immune system and an increased risk for cardiovascular issues. Emotional forgiveness also keeps us from ruminating over the wrong that was done to us, and rumination can be very harmful too. It has been associated with a number of mental health problems, include OCD, anxiety, and depression. Wondering how you can reach emotional forgiveness? Be sure to keep an eye out for our next episode.
Forgiveness doesn't mean you are pardoning or excusing the other person's actions. On the contrary, in order to truly forgive someone, you need to acknowledge the full extent of their offense, and in many cases, you need to let the person endure or receive the appropriate consequences for it. By this, I'm not saying that you should take justice into your own hands or seek revenge.
I'm Batman.
When I say consequences, I mean allowing the natural course of action to happen. For instance, when someone breaks the law, they face legal consequences. That's a natural set of action. When there's a sexual betrayal in a marriage, distrust is the natural consequence of that action.
And forgiveness doesn't require the participation of the other person. It's your personal decision. Sometimes we will never understand why someone hurt us so bad. Sometimes they will not be repentant. Sometimes they will not come and ask forgiveness. They may never understand the extent to which they have hurt you. If your healing and freedom is dependent on whether the offender asks for forgiveness, you are basically tying your life to theirs and get stuck there. That's not where you want to be.
Forgiveness doesn't mean that you shouldn't have any more feelings about the situation or that event. There are offenses so great that you will still feel that hurt every time you remember the event, even though you no longer engage in hateful or ruminative thoughts. If you are experiencing prolonged bitterness due to an event or towards a person, you may want to talk with someone or seek professional help.
Forgiveness doesn't mean that everything should return to normal as if nothing had happened. You see, when an offense, especially a great one, happens, normal becomes a thing of the past. We need to look to the future and see what the options are moving forward. To continue using the example of sexual betrayal, you can forgive your spouse, deciding that you are not going to hold on to this bitterness, and talk about what the next step will look like. For example, couples counseling, temporary separation, or in some cases, divorce. And we do recommend you to surround yourself with a lot of wise counsel before making any big decisions, especially when you are hurting.
Forgiveness isn't just for you. In fact, research shows that forgiveness is for you in that it helps improve your mental health. it is actually also for the other person. It is hard to think about it this way, but the truth is when we forgive, we are actually allowing ourselves to be free of what had happened in the past and also setting the other person free. I know it's hard when your heart is bitter to think about setting the other person free, and yet that action allowed you to be set free first in that process. And remember, forgiveness is the gift that only you can give to yourself and the other person. When you forgive because of other people or with the altruistic purpose, you are actually receiving more healing and freedom as a result. We hope that we've provided you some beneficial information regarding forgiveness. And if there's someone in your life that you are holding a grudge over, remember it is more beneficial to you to forgive. So practice being willing to forgive. The hurt will be there, but forgiving allows you and the other person to reap the benefits. We hope the content of this video had been helpful to you, and we hope to see you in future videos. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like our video, and click on the bell icon. Have a great one, and we'll see you again soon.